of the Aura Walker Hypnotherapy Show. And this is my first show streaming live from radiobuzz.com for the new year in 2018. So it is now Monday, January 8th, 2018, and I'm back on the air. Woohoo! So I want to start off this show with New Year's truths for 2018 that's going to get the audience out there in Cyberland ready for this year. So I do a lot of research all the time. I am a mental health practitioner, holistic health practitioner, and I have 23 years of experience now this year in 2018. So you would think that by doing something for 23 years, I might know a thing or two, right? So I think I probably know a lot more about a lot of different topics than I even think I do. So I'm going to start off here. I've written down some bullet points. First of all of us have parents because we were made and born as humans. So I'd like to say that most parents have no idea what they signed on for. So do your best to be a good person. Even if your parents fell short, you are part of the majority. The dysfunctional family is the norm. Truly understand that. Really understand that if you have a dysfunctional family, that's everybody's family. Literally anyone who's like, I had the greatest family, they are the minority. Okay. The norm is people come from dysfunction. It just is the human element. Get over it, move on, be a good person anyway, be productive. Get some therapy, call me. My number's listed. Secondly, I'd like to go into education. It is so important that we educate our kids now on how to survive in the future and how to bring back the environment, because we are part of the natural world, right? Clean water is what we need to survive. We need trees for oxygen. I mean, it's unavoidable. We can't just keep fabricating things artificially. We need it from natural sources. So it is important that we teach our children how to survive in nature, how to reclaim waterways, how to reforest land, and how to reclaim their planet, their future. So what I would like to say is that more than degrees, life experience is so important, because really, unless you have an accounting, medicine, or law degree, it's very hard to get jobs these days in fields where people get degrees, right? So my cousin got a degree in philosophy, which, used to be touted as this like really all around well marketable degree. Well, I'm sorry, but there's just too much competition out there. So you have to really be creative and work with what you have, because you cannot rely on your degree anymore. The internet is not going to find you clients anymore without net neutrality. So you've got to go to trade school if you're out of college or college age. I should say if you're of college age, or learn a trade. If you're a business owner, develop an email list to make your business grow. The internet is now only useful for finding restaurants near you. Wink, wink. There is now no new recipe to make a love relationship work. It comes down to luck, wellness, and compatibility. There's no recipe to keep the interest of a person. And there's no recipe to keep the interest of a man, okay? You either got a good one or you didn't. Pretty much all there is to it. As for men, if you want tips, call me and schedule a session. I will give you the full 411. When you were in your 30s, maybe you dieted here and there. I advise against starving oneself to stay thin. But the truth is that as we get older, people's metabolism slow down. You're not as young anymore. You don't have to run around as much anymore. So people end up starving themselves, and we call it dieting or fasting, but it is not dieting or fasting. It is starving yourself. And they have shown that intermittent fasting, right? Fasting, doing a juice cleanse or something, is going to boost your metabolism, because it puts your body into this other phase where it starts to burn on empty. Not really great, but if you're going to skip a meal, I would advise only skipping lunch, because you're sleeping hopefully for 8 hours, which means that your body's depleted and you need to feed it to keep going, to function properly, to have your brain function properly. And then dinner, you want to eat dinner because you're going to sleep for 8 hours and you don't want to wake up, because the minute that your blood sugar drops, you're going to get hungry, and that's going to contribute to insomnia. So you want to sleep well. So I would advise, if you're going to skip a meal, skip lunch. Let's see, where am I going from here? Sleep. We talked about sleep just a second ago, or I talked about sleep a second ago. Sleep is underrated and gains value with age. Sleep often. It makes life easier to deal with, and it helps to repair your body as you age. So I truly believe in naps. Sleep when you can. Don't sleep all day, but if you need to, if you're really depleted, take a day and catch up on sleep. I suggest adopting the U.S. hostage policy with children in particular, and also for difficult adults. Never negotiate to get what you want. Just give choices you can live with. This is really important. I've watched parents flounder out there, and many parents are Radio Buzz listeners, right? So this is something that happens in life. You find yourself becoming a parent. I have a theory that children, dogs, and men do not respond to please don't do that. You have to give choices that you can live with. Never count on people simply because you have known them for years. People are often fickle and peculiar. Notice who is reliable and who is not. It rarely changes. Get rid of as much old stuff in your house that you do not use as is possible. Pare down on an ongoing basis. It will make it easier to move when you have to, and you will have to move at some point in your life, I guarantee you. So it's really important this year, and every new year, but this year, as we're starting the new year, to get rid of clutter. And there was actually an article that said that Goodwill does not want your grandma's china, because people are just getting rid of so much old stuff, because we're getting into an age where we can buy so much stuff for cheap, like IKEA furniture. And so people are just disposing of stuff all the time. So it's important to just get rid of stuff, but also to keep stuff that you can use for a long time, right? So you don't have to keep buying stuff over and over and over again. So that leads me to my next thing, which is my next point, which is try not to buy anything you do not need. You just do not need it. Buy classic clothing. It's always classic. It's always chic, right? My radio producer here often wears black t-shirts, never goes out of style. Save as much money as is possible. You will need it for retirement, moving, or emergencies. We have come into an age of saving. It is important that you save your money, because we have people in power who are messing with your future. So it's important to be frugal and to save. There's no shame in that. Most people do not want positive solutions. They just do not. The folly of youth is thinking that people care about your opinion. They generally, 9 out of 10 times, they do not. So unless you're speaking to a paying client or an audience who's interested in what you have to say, like you all who are, excuse me, my audience, I suggest that if you really do not have a captive audience, save your energy and keep your opinion to yourself. Because actually, most times people don't care about other people's opinions unless they're in the same vein of thinking, the same wavelength of thinking. So find your people, find your audience. Let's see, moving on here. Complacency is the norm, unfortunately. So get politically involved if you want any kind of social progress. You are needed to help make things socially better. Otherwise, I really recommend that you do not complain and realize that self-serving Republican millionaires and corporations are destroying this planet and dictating your choices. But you are needed. You are needed for positive social change. You are very much needed. So I encourage you, if you've ever wanted to run for office, school board, even PTA, get involved. You are needed on the ground level. In that vein, that might seem like I'm being pessimistic, but I'm really being realistic. And I've really looked at a lot of probabilities. That's what I look at, right? There's no such thing as karma. So give that up. Karma is a filter that people look through because they want retribution. They want some kind of justice, or they want someone to get skewered. There's only learning what works and what does not work through consistent trial and error. There are no deep, profound life lessons, just basic truths and profound skills. Keep good, dependable people around you. Chuck the rest. Finally, do not be motivated by money alone. Be motivated to act, to do, to accomplish based on what will make this planet a much better place to live on. We are broadcasting the day after the Golden Globes, and I don't know if anyone saw Oprah Winfrey's speech. She is just truly phenomenal. And what I was struck by with her speech was this statement that time's up, hashtag time's up. And it means that time's up, not just for Hollywood and sexual harassment, but we are coming into a new age, a new era of equal rights for women. It's just time. It's not about gender anymore. It's just about people, right? So good people, people who are dependable, whether you're male or female, and not treating someone less than the other, and realizing that you don't have to dress skimpily to be heard or to be noticed. That is an old paradigm. So when we look at people who are scantily dressed, we're really looking at an image of somebody who's trying to sell an image. They're not trying to sell a deeper message than that. And the thing about the porn industry is that 70% of people in the porn industry were sexually abused as children, and that is not sexy. So, you know, in lieu of slamming the porn industry, I'm just trying to raise awareness that we are coming into a new age of looking at people for who they are and what they represent and what they really truly have to say and how they are presenting themselves. The good thing about the administration right now, 2016, 17, 18, is that it is really this whole draining the swamp concept is really about wiping the mud off of the windshield, off of your personal windshield. All of these guys are like, someone said, it's like that movie, The Producers, but in real life. They're revealing themselves to be hucksters and showmen and snake oil salesmen. I mean, they're really just showing who they are. And so the mud is being wiped off the windshield. We're all getting to see who these politicians are in office, who our senators truly are. Who did we elect? Are these people for us? Are they going to work for us, for our health care, for our rights? Did we elect them to power on our behalf? So that's the positivity that I see, is that the blinds are coming down, the glass is being cleaned. We are getting to see things clearly with a new vision. And that new vision for 2018 and the future is that we see things more clearly than ever before. And there's very few excuses now. We don't have any excuses. We've got to save our environment. We want to save ourselves. It's just the bottom line. And we've got to elect better people into office. We just need better people. And that might include you. That might include you to your own city council. So I want to leave these words of inspiration for everyone out there in Cyberland is get involved, elect good people, do your homework, do your due diligence, develop email lists for your business, reach out to your community through the internet. It's no longer through search engines and URLs alone. It is through connection, direct connection. And here at Radio Buzz, we are independent radio. This is what we stand for. We are a fresh new voice of the present and the future. And my producer, Chris at Radio Buzz, also helps people to develop their own businesses through the internet in an independent way, in a creative way. So you can always contact him, Chris at radiobuzz.com. And my name is Aura Walker. I have a master's degree in transpersonal counseling and psychology. And I've been working with all ages for 23 years. So I come here every week. And this actually may be one of my last broadcasts from our radio station because we're going to try working with new technology and patching me in from my home office. So that's exciting. I may come back and forth, but we'll see. We're going to try this new evolution. We're always trying new techniques and improving every time that I do a broadcast. My producer has something new for us to try out. So we're evolving as we hope that you all out there are evolving, because that is the whole point of life, is that we want you to evolve and grow. All of us need to evolve and grow positively so that we can have an enjoyable life. And that is really the bottom line. That's the secret to life, is If something is old and stale, try something new and move forward in a new direction with new skills and wisdom, practical wisdom. So that's my soapbox presentation for this week. My show airs repeatedly at 1 p.m. every day, and I have a new show every week. So I'd like to sign off for now and welcome all of you back to Radio Buzz and our new year here, starting off with you in 2018. I'll see you soon.